All right, we are live. Welcome to the show. We have a big show. Happy Friday. Man, we got a lot going on. A lot going on. We have a lot going on. Come on in. Come on in. Let's go. Let's talk. Let's talk. Come on in. Wow. What in the hell is happening today? Christine, always a pleasure to see you. Number one today. Okay. How are you? We have a show on today, Mustang Mike. But before we get there, I want to say hello to everybody. And we got a lot to talk about. Ozzy Crosby, we got a lot accomplished today in a meeting with the homeless. And let me tell you, there's two Italians. One Italian is going to quit. Maybe another Italian quits today. Italians, we're hot-headed. And I'm going to talk about Dan Bongino. We're going to talk about myself and what I did today in a meeting with the homeless. Also, the pot farms, weed farms. I hope I can say this on here. I don't know what you can say anymore. Anyhow, we're going to talk about what the hell is going on with it. Ladies and gentlemen, come on in, come on in. The Democrat Party is finished for a long time. However, we got a problem. And let's face it, because a lot of you, I want everybody not to be in denial here, Mike. How are you, Lemon J? We have a problem. And what did I say? What did Sal say 2 weeks ago? Somebody would be getting fired or walking out. This is only the beginning, guys. Has Trump lost touch of the party? Let me know. I'm going to do a poll. Let's see here. Well, I'll start the poll in a second. Let me just wait for everybody else to come in. Well, welcome, everybody. I appreciate you guys being here. Always a pleasure to see you. Lemon J, thank you for sharing that information yesterday there in Texas. By the way, Trump arrived in Texas this afternoon. He accomplished a lot. It was sad. And I got to tell you, he's unhappy about no sirens being there and this, that, whatever. However, the FEMA is there. Money's there. I like to get into this FEMA. I like to get into this possible cover-up in Texas. I don't know if I'm going to have time. So we might have to wait till later. Paul, appreciate you. And by the way, thank you so much for all the likes on the last video. We had about almost close to 175 likes. Appreciate helping out the channel here as we are in this meeting. All right. I hope everybody's doing well on this Friday. And did Elon Musk wish will come true? Ladies and gentlemen, will we have a third party? Will we have a third party? Will... All right. I just put it in the chat, and I got to tell you, we know, let me fix this, guys. I know the writing covers up my face. Not like you guys want to see my face anyhow. We have a problem. Democrats, we're going to get to that. I want to jump right into the Dan Bongino. I know you guys are waiting, but before I do that, well, thank you, Ozzy. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was in a meeting today. Well, I'll tell you what. We don't care about my meeting. Well, we'll get into my meeting in a little bit. I might not be allowed back into the meeting because I have a big mouth. I'm Italian. And Dan Bongino. Let me tell you something right now, guys. Dan Bongino, my thoughts, and this is me. First of all, he's worth he's making $4.9 million as a podcast. He's huge. He's good. He's not quite as good as me, but he's pretty damn good. Us Italians and Irish, we know stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get into this. Somebody is hiding something, and it's not Dan Bongino. It's not because I'm an Italian. I respect the guy. I know him. There's a rat. I don't know if it's Kash Patel. I don't know if it's our president. I don't know if it's Pam Bondi. But something is going on. And also, I'm referring to the Epstein files. I thought we were going to be done with this, but what did I tell you guys yesterday? It's a bombshell. I don't think people realize it. Do you guys realize how big this is? I know a lot of you don't care. It doesn't matter to you, but it does. If you are a Republican and you stand behind Trump and you're MAGA, you better be worried about this, ladies and gentlemen. We better be worried about this if you want to keep the House. Politics is very tricky, and Trump might have lost touch. Let's go back, if we could, to Elon Musk. I'm not a big fan of him. I think he did Trump wrong. He leaves. Stay with me. Oh, Sal, you're overreacting. Stay with me. There's also rumors that Marco Rubio is not happy. Trust me. Dan Bongino probably go. And when he goes, I have a funny feeling Pam Bondi will go behind. Once you lose connection of your team, you lost faith in the party. I hope I'm not wrong, but all because of this. Well, not the Elon Musk. That was other stuff we'll get into another time. LGBT for Trump. What's going on? I'm referring to the Epstein files. I don't care about it. Maribel's like confused on it. I got a lot of people that I like talking to. They're like, I got mortgage brokers talking to me about it. I got Democrats, Republicans. I got an uncle. I got people who run a Republican Party who love Trump. And I'm a diehard Trump. And they're saying we're in trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in trouble. The time has come. We have to get this together. And what did I tell you what happened, ladies and gentlemen? What did I say? What Trump did with Marco Rubio in the middle and Pam Bondi? He would have been better off saying, are you fake news? Sit the hell down. That's what he should have said, but he didn't. He goes, are we going to talk about the Epstein files again? Well, I agree with him. Do you guys? But I also agree I want to keep our party. Wrong words. If you missed the live yesterday, wrong. Wrong. Because you said you're going to open up the Epstein files, Mr. Trump. Oh, now we got Bongino. He's fired up. And I think here's what's going on. Bongino had a podcast, and he had his theory. And he says there was names. He worked on Barack Obama administration. He's a good man. He's a good man. And I stand behind him, and he smells a rat. And when an Italian smells a rat, we walk out. We walk out because he knows he's probably not going to take Pam Bondi's job. It wouldn't look right. It would just eat up the party. I want everybody to come in here and like and subscribe. Think about what I just said. If he gets what he wants and he becomes, and he takes Pam Bondi's position, it would not look right. He wouldn't do that to Donald Trump. It would make it worse. So Dan Bongino, the U.S. Deputy Director, and I also have this theory too, because people are saying CNN is saying fake news. He misses his wife, maybe. Okay, he misses the Fazals and money, maybe. The real reason is he's pissed because he knows there's names on that list. And Pam Bondi fumbled it. Pam Bondi fumbled it. You said there's, and I don't want to hear, I talk to friends today, oh, Sal, you're making a big deal out of it. I'm not making a big deal out of it. I'm not making a big deal out of it. I want the Republican Party to secede because I don't want this Democrat Party back in for a long time. We're in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a third party if we don't get our act together right now. You see the room is empty there. It's falling apart. Marco Rubio's not happy. Dan Bongino did not come to work today. If you're new and wondering what the hell's going on, Dan Bongino didn't show up. He's taking a long weekend. He might not come back. Marco Rubio's pissed off. Pam Bondi, we don't know what's going on. J.D. Vance is shocked. Elon Musk is gone, starting a third party. And I'm hearing some other sources that the Republicans are pissed off at what the hell's going on with the Epstein files. This is a very serious situation. Now, we'll get back to that in a minute. I'm so pissed off what's going on right now in California. Farm out of control. ICE, they're going to find out these people. Gavin Newsom has lost control of everything. They taste blood. They want blood. And this other guy, these Democrats have lost control. They are encouraging violence. You are never above the law. What's the simple thing? You don't belong here. You go back. You get back. These protesters clash with ICE. Who the hell you think you are? You come here illegal, ICE is going to take you back. That Gavin Newsom is the worst of the worst. And Cory Booker, have you heard Cory Booker lately? He wants to run for, these are your choice. Cory Booker. Hello, everybody. I'm Sal Capano. Come on in. Appreciate you guys. You got Cory Booker, Gavin Newsom, AOC. And the wild card would be Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is your wild card. I don't think he'll give up his ESPN. That's your choices. Josh Shapiro has no shot. And they have a huge problem. The Democrat Party is finished. And now, just when I thought the MAGA and Trump, we were going to be around with Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance taking over, not so fast, as Stephen Corso says on ESPN. Look him up. Not so fast. We are now departing. When the cabinet and Bongino says, forget about it, you lost control. So now this comes on the commander-in-chief, and I love you, Donald Trump. I really do, Trump. We want you, Donald Trump. Do you want Donald Trump as president? Have you lost faith in Donald Trump? Do you want Donald Trump to be good? Well, guess what? We need Donald Trump right now to figure this shit out, and he better figure it out very quickly. Well, guess what? Elon Musk's dream comes true. Colema, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. Impeach Trump, Mario says. We have a serious problem. It's not going to ever happen. And Trump is still done more than any president, any mayor, any governor, senator, ever. All I'm saying is it's out of control right now. And I think Trump brought this along. Yes or no? Did Trump brought this in? You have to lead the situation, ladies and gentlemen. You have to have that control. He should have sat down with Pam Bondi a long time ago and said, hey, what's going on with the files? Should we go ahead? What do we do? I'm the president. Right now, I got to worry about getting rid of nukes, right? I got to worry about Russia and Ukraine. I got to worry about our borders and ICE. I'm doing all that. You're here, Pam Bondi, to take care of it. Now, I've checked it out, the files. Now, are we going to release them? And Pam, so, maybe it's just a little too fast for Trump, right? Now, I said this yesterday. When you move quick, you lose control and you have an empty room. And that's what you have here. You have an empty room right now. And I'm afraid that the Republicans are going back and forth. Once it's almost like a pandemic, right? Elon goes, okay, that's Elon. Bongino doesn't come to work. And make all means, Bongino has not quit yet. So come on in. Bongino has not quit. But he did not show up today, and you're hearing a lot of this, that, whatever, between Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and President Donald Trump, who's in Texas. Now, I'm going to read some comments. What's your thoughts? We have 20 likes. I appreciate the show, guys. Now, if you haven't subscribed, come on in and like and subscribe, because I am going to keep this real, and a lot of podcasts and broadcasts won't talk about it. I don't know why. I don't know what they're afraid of. Joe Rogan has touched on it, but I don't even know if he got into it. I don't know why they're not talking about the truth. Joe Rogan has touched on a little bit, and some other good podcasts out there. Stephen Gardner is really good, are touching on this. But we got to be honest with each other. If you are a conservative right now, and you want the United States of America to have common sense and stop all wars and have our borders secured, well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We better listen very closely and hope that nobody else walks out of the cabinet and administration, because the next person that walks out could be the very end of the Republican Party, and we could be in a third-party war with Elon Musk and whoever else. Now, I'm just telling you guys, I've seen this before, and it's happened. And right now, Donald Trump will not be sleeping very good tonight. And by the way, our hats off for Donald Trump for getting the FEMA money over there in Texas, and just doing the best as he possibly can. But he needs to regroup right now. And I would have right now multiple phone calls with Bongino, Dan Bongino. Matter of fact, I probably would invite him. I would have him sit down with him for about 30 minutes with Dan Bongino. I would trust him over anybody else. Because this isn't like a school. We're not like a principal. This is big deal, guys, with Epstein. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, well, Sal, that was a long time ago. Who cares? Guys, I said this yesterday. A lot of people don't care. But when it involves children, I'm referring to Epstein. Now there's footage now. Here we go. There is footage that his jail cell now are saying all of a sudden, let me read here. I'm going back to Epstein. Prison videos now saying they modified it. Oh my God, I hope, see, this is what happens when you don't release the damn files. Release the files already. Sorry guys, I get pissed off. Here we thought we're heading in the right direction, everything's good, and everything is good, and now we have a bombshell. It's pissing me the hell off right now, and we got to get the facts, and Donald Trump better take control. When you have Dan Bongino walking out, not good. All right, let me read some messages. Hey, Joe, how are you? Good to see you. I think that Donald Trump right now, I'm pretty confident he's already called Dan Bongino, and he's probably saying, what's going on? Let me know what's going on in your head. See, everything's been going on. I think, again, guys, if you're new to my channel, like and subscribe. I think when you're moving, remember the stick shift, guys, and you put that in 5th speed. Once you're driving really fast, and Trump has been like driving in different lanes, man, he closed the borders very quickly, man, right? He's already negotiated. He's had, trying to get this Russian war. He's already went to middle, and straighten out the Middle East. He's making peace. He's a peacemaker. He's implementing terrorists, whether you like it or not. It's crushing my business, but I believe long term it's going to be good, right? He's doing so much, but so fast. And I've said this before. A lot of people would disagree. Oh, he's doing good. Fast is good. No, you got to be careful when you're too fast. And I think where he went too fast is he's lost focus on the Epstein files. He lost focus on that. He's lost touch. Where was the communication between Donald Trump and Van Bondi and Dan Bongino? Where's the communication? Obviously, it's not there. For Dan Bongino not to come to work today, there's obvious a bigger, there's something wrong. And I said before in the beginning of the podcast, I know how we're Italian, we're hot-blooded. Dan Bongino will probably not come back. He will not come back. He knows that the right thing to do is to go for it and release the damn files, information. Donald Trump's not on there. He's not on there. It has nothing to do with Donald Trump. Bill Clinton's not on there. Michael Jordan's not on there. Release the damn files. We want to know who was visiting it, who was going to that island, Epstein Island. Who was there? People want to know who was there. Who was there? Was De Niro there? Who was there? Who participated? Or who just went and had a beer? Just, what's so hard about it? Why is this a problem? What are they hiding? Why did they have to lie to America? JFK, tell the people the truth. Let us know what in the hell is going on. We care. We're Americans. We want to know whether you voted for Trump or not. We want to know. Just like Biden. Who's running it? Who had the auto pen? Give us some names. The doctor pleads the 5th. Bullshit, plead the 5th. There's no damn 5th. He wasn't running his nation. Tell us, was it Joe Biden? Was it Elizabeth Warren? Was it Pete Buttigieg? Was it AOC? Who the hell was running our nation? Who put us into this mess? Tell us. We want answers. We deserve answers. We vote you in. We, the people, you, me, our families. You get so tired of this mess. And here we got a president who's not a politician, but just ran into a little dilemma here. So what's your thoughts, guys? What's your thoughts today on this? Debbie, how are you? There's Bongino right there. He said, forget about it. I'm gone. I'm out of here. Goodbye. You won't see me no more. He's a good man, too. That's a good man. That's a good man to lose there. He knows. He knows there's something going on. And I'm sure he's already discussed this with Donald Trump. I think the best thing for him is to, hey, I got to protect myself. I got to protect my wife. I got to protect my children. I will go back to my podcast making $4.9 million. God bless him. He's a hard worker. And that's it. Here's the deal. He goes back to his podcast. He's going to let go. Will he start giving out the names? Yes or no? Will Bongino go back to his podcast when he quits, if he quits? He hasn't quit yet. He hasn't quit yet. And he might come in on Monday. He might. But if he does he start giving out the list? I don't know. I really don't know. What's your thoughts? Yes or no? Will Bongino go back to his podcast and just start ripping apart all the people on Epstein Island? Will he? Joe says no. What do you think? Will he? Or, let me ask you this. Does he take Pam Bondi's job? I don't think so. Will he take Pam Bondi's job? Pam Bondi, see it. I'm in here. I'm running the show. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe. Maybe. I want to go in the Oval Office. Kash Patel. Will he walk out? Kash Patel. Will he be next? I told you guys, what did I say? A few months, I was a little early. Somebody either is going to get fired. First of all, Dan Bongino did not get fired, and he did not quit yet. But he did not come to work. What did Sal Capano say? And I'm telling you right now, you're going to see 2 or 3 more by the end of this year. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I hope I'm wrong. All right, well, we have a third party. 34% says yes. 66% says no. That makes me feel a little bit better. I feel a little bit better on that. Yeah, I am too. I like that Dan Bongino is sending a message, Janine. Was that you, Janine? You know, either way, because there is that third possibility. He does come into work on Monday, but I know a little bit about people from back east in New York and Philly and Italians and Irish. I know him. He's a hothead. For him not to come, I don't think he ain't coming back. He ain't coming back. He's pissed. And he's not mad at Trump. He's mad at Pam Bondi. He might be a little upset at Donald Trump. A little bit. He's not going to ever say it. Or will he? But he's pissed at Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. And I see distraction in here. That's a good word. I see somebody put distraction. This is a distraction because Donald Trump doesn't need this. Donald Trump is making peace. He's just stopped Iran from their nukes. He's trying to make peace with Russia and Ukraine. By the way, we got a problem right now, breaking news. I'm just hearing something in my right. Something is going on in Russia right now. Either way you look at it, it's not good. When you have people that you're put in these seats, whether it's Dan Bongino, Joe Smith, Sal Capano, Ozzy, what's going on, or Janine, or anybody else. If you have faith and you put Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Elon Musk, when you're the commander-in-chief and you're putting these people in these positions in this short period of time and they start walking out for different reasons. Elon's a total joke. But when they start walking out, we have a problem, ladies and gentlemen, and we need to face this. We need to face it very quickly if we want to make America beautiful, great, common sense, and continue our, forward. Because it should not stop in 28. It should continue with a Marco Rubio or a J.D. Vance or somebody else. And the way it's looking right now, I don't even know anymore. And I know a lot of you are thinking, baloney, bullshit, not true. That's fine. It is true, guys. You cannot lose. You got to keep your group together. If you're a football team and they win championship, it's run by of course the owner, your GM, your coach. you keep that team together, of course, no injuries, and you build a championship. Well, guess what? That championship was amazing. It's not building as a championship right now, Paul Lemon. Thank you so much for that donation. Appreciate that. Thank you for your support. Thank you so much. And yesterday, too. It's funny you say Tucker. Was that Ozzy? Ozzy Crosby or Ozzy? I think it was Ozzy Ray. It's funny you say that name Tucker. Remember that comment there. Remember that name Tucker. He's another one I like. He's sort of like, he brings it out. I like how he does it. He's not afraid because he wants the system to work. He believes in the Trump way, most of it. Yeah, remember that name. Could that be a third party? You know what I mean? Think about that. Could Elon and Tucker run something? A lot of stuff can happen. It's still early, guys. I'm not saying to be in panic mode here. I might be making it a little worse than it is, but I'm just telling you, it's not good. It's not good when your team walks out on you. It's just not good. And, you could say what you want about any of these people walking out, because it certainly looked good when Elon was on there before, right? Oh, he was good. He did some good stuff. Now he's going, we don't need him anymore. It certainly looked good when Dan Bongino came in, right? Oh, he's a bat. Now he's going, we can live without him. Now you lose another one or two. Forget about it. There's that possibility, too. I don't think this is true, that Dan Bongino needs his $4.9 million. And maybe it didn't work out the way he wanted it. I'm just going to throw this out. Maybe the podcast. Remember, on his podcast, did you ever watch Dan Bongino? He talked a lot about the Epstein files. It could just be that, hey, we're not going to go anywhere with this. I enjoy this on my podcast. I'm referring to Bongino, not me. I enjoy this too so much. I'll go back and he'll make his $4.9 million. I'll go ahead and I'll release some of the names and start it off. I just don't know if he would do that for Trump, though. I don't know. He loves Trump. But there's all kinds of different theories. I mean, I've heard that he's not feeling good. I don't know if that's true. So what's going on with Bongino? So today, Bongino did not come to work. Dan Bongino, he says he didn't come in. And my sources today in my meeting, and by the way, I got kicked out of a meeting. My sources are telling me Dan Bongino is pissed off on how Pam Bondi and how they're handling the Epstein files. That the Epstein files, if it should have been released, not been released, brought to the detention, and she's wishy-washy. He's just not happy on how it's working out. That's one. Two is, he misses the files. Maybe. But I think it's much more than that. I really believe it has to do with the Epstein files. And he didn't come to work. And usually, if you don't come to work on a Friday, it's a long weekend. You're probably not coming back. So that's what we're discussing today. Today's live. I'm sure that President Trump, when he gets back from Texas, I think he's back already, gets the phone call to Bongino, because I know he's well-liked. I think Donald Trump trusts Dan Bongino a lot. And I just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, there is that possibility that Dan Bongino would take Pam Bondi's position. I just don't see that. It would look sloppy. Think about this. If, for some reason, President Trump says, hey, Dan, what's going on over here? How about you take over her position? It won't look good for the Republican Party. It wouldn't look good for a Democrat Party. It wouldn't look good for any organization. Not in this. So I think that would be a 5% chance that happening. I just don't see that happening. Even if Dan Bongino is right, he might be totally off on this. But if he is correct on everything I'm saying, he's pissed because the Epstein files aren't on there, and he says, hey, I want Pam Bondi's job, it wouldn't look good. It'd be embarrassing to the Republican Party. It would make Trump look, it wouldn't look good, in my opinion. I wouldn't see that happening at all. The only chance it would be is Trump talks to Bongino and try to get this all settled very quickly. Because if it goes into the weekend without any communication with Dan Bongino and Donald Trump or J.D. Vance, if it goes longer into the weekend, all likelihood Dan Bongino will not be back and he'll be replaced. Now, who will he be replaced with? In the chat. Who do you think will be replacing Dan Bongino if he doesn't come back as the U.S. Deputy Director? Who would be a name that would be brought in? Because let me tell you, this would be shocking news to Donald Trump. Trump doesn't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this right now. Crazy times, guys. You know, it really is. It's just unpredictable with politics. You just don't know what's going. And you know, and we see it happen before with the Republican Party. Remember when the Republican Party was all over the place with the Bush's years? With Bush, Republicans couldn't stick together. Boy, I hope this is not happening. Because you got to say one thing about the Democrats. Man, they stick together. Am I right or wrong? So, what's going on, Austin? God bless you. Hanging out with Grandpa. What's going on, Austin? Appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate everybody on here today. I appreciate all the moderators. I'm fired up today. I'm sorry I'm a little fired up, guys. I'm fired up because I don't want to see the party go. I like Dan Bongino. I know I've been following him for a long time. He's not perfect. I'm not perfect. He makes mistakes. But knowing a little bit about Dan Bongino, I would be very shocked that there's something he did wrong. But that's my opinion. Now I got kind of excused and thrown out of a meeting today. They didn't like what I had to say. By the way, if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. We help out the homeless. I fight for the homeless, but I have a big mouth. And I had a big mouth today, and I let loose. And that's what I am. Take back America. Deport them all. Absolutely. High five, fist bump. Yeah, before we get into my meeting, it's ridiculous what's going on. A California farm, out of control, weed farm. What do they think they are? You know, threaten ICE? Not right. And this is where you have to have leadership. This is where Gavin Newsom, I believe he wasn't even in California. He's supposed to stand up and say, hey, he doesn't have to say I like Trump. All he needs to say, we're going to stop this. We're going to stop it. I don't agree with Trump on his issues, but we're not going to do this. We're not going to fight with ICE. We're not going to threaten ICE border control. That's not how America is. We don't encourage blood on the street. It's a damn shame what's going on with this world. We have lost touch. Yeah, I got pants on. Paul, ICE shouldn't act like Nazis. Welcome in, Brandon. They're not acting like Nazis, Brandon. And thank you for your comment. I respect. They're doing their job. They're sending people that are here illegal. And there's Democrats that I talked to about this whole thing with ICE and the farm. And most of them agree. Most, except for Gavin Newsom, AOC, Cory Booker, and some of those. Dan is upset that Donald is on the list. Now, Donald Trump is not on the list, and that has nothing to do with that at all. Pat, how are you? What's going on? It has nothing to do with it. Dan Bongino is upset on how it was handled. Okay? He's pissed on how it was handled, how Pam Bondi says we have the files. And, you know, I talked to a friend today. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble. Ah, man, I smoked cigars with him. And he goes, well, Sal, he's a mega. He wasn't before. And he goes, well, on her defense, he didn't say they had the files. Give me a break. Come on, wake up, guys. She said they had the files. Trump says we were going to discuss and bring up the files. Let's be honest to each other, guys. But there we go. I think it should have never been brought up. They should have never brought it up. Donald Trump should have hired Pam Bondi, Bongino. Forget about it. Joe, thank you for that donation. Appreciate it. It might be, Joe. That's a fair comment. Repelling against the... It might be. It might be. I just want the world... Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. Goes to the homeless. Appreciate that. I just want... Here's what I want. I want Trump. He's done a lot of things. I want him to bring the people together. Do not lose connection or lose control. What I want from the Democrats is them not to have to agree on everything Trump says. But my goodness, use the words blood on the streets and AOC and these people. We need a Democrat to step up and say enough is enough with all this Donald Trump and all these names. Let's work together as a team to work for the American people forever. Different issues, different sides. You need two parties and come together. That's what we need. And let's hope that Trump can make it an attempt on that connection. Let's hope that some of these Democrats, one or two, could stand up and try to save the moderate Democrat. Because right now there's no party at all there. And then we have this mess here with the Republican Party. People walking out, not want to come in. Elon Musk talking third party. Marco Rubio's unhappy. Pam Bondi looks lost. Come on, we need to wake up. We accomplished so much closing the borders, stopping the nukes in Iran, making peace in the Middle East. In a couple of months, it's record-breaking. No president's done it. I want to keep that, but work together. The problem is the Democrats don't want to work together either. They don't have anything to come up with. They say tariffs don't work. They don't have any thoughts. The big beautiful bill sucks. They have no thoughts on how to help out anything. Health insurance. It's time, guys, for them to work together. It really is. Or guess what? We're going to lose touch. All right, I'm going to get into the comments. I've been rattling on here. We didn't stop nukes. What was that all about? Oh, that's all lies too. We didn't go there and come on, get real. Let me just say this. Trump has tried and done so much, and he's got to just keep the party, the cabinet together. That's what he needs to do. Now, I appreciate you guys. Happy Friday. Hope everybody's doing well and enjoying their Friday. Thank you, Janine. Appreciate that. Bruce, how are you? Now, we bless my wife. If you're new, like and subscribe. One thing we agree on here, we help out the homeless when we can. We went out today. My wife got bagels, turkey, and egg and cheese, and ham, egg, and cheese. Took care of a bunch of homeless. And then I went to a meeting, and I just lost my cool a little bit. They yelled at me because they continue to give a short notice with homeless that are living on the street. And they said, no, we can't give any notice out. What do you think this is? They have mailboxes? And I don't like how they said that. So, you know, I fight for homeless, and I want them to give notice when they're in their tents. I want to see at least a one-day notice to get these people, they can go from one side of the street down to the other side of the street. And there's just not enough notice. And I called them out today. A lot. Now, pissed off. Now, Trump is not on the list. Matter of fact, I'm going to be upfront with you guys. I would say there's no former president. There's no Clinton on that list. Trump's not on that list. You know, Biden's not on that list. What they're worried about is possibly some senators and maybe a governor, athletes, and just some high-profile people. It would open up a big can of worms. I have no problem with Trump's decision, but he's just back and forth with it. You got to be one way or the other. So, You know, I tell you though, more I think about this, Dan Bongino stepping down, possibly. Hold on, I rephrase that. We don't know yet. I take that back. All we know is Dan Bongino did not come in today, and the sources I'm hearing and sources that you're hearing on a lot of news outlets, he's unhappy on how they're handling the Epstein list. But let's say he doesn't come back. It's a mess, and maybe it might be time for Trump to, you know, hey, we do have some names to discuss. I don't know how the hell he can how he can say it or what he can do about it, but come up with something, Trump. Got to save the cabinet. We cannot lose anybody else. God forbid we lost Marco Rubio. My goodness, or somebody like that. Oh my goodness. Kash Patel. Let's see here. What did Bruce say? Kash Patel and Bongino are talking, stepping down. Kash Patel is too. Yeah. Yeah, I heard. See, both of them, Bruce. Look, there's a couple stories. There's three sides of the story. The storyteller. Kash Patel and Bongino are not happy with Pam Bondi. She's making mistakes. She's not fit. And most recently, the Epstein files. I'm also hearing that Bongino is a little aggravated with Trump of what we discussed the last two lives, where he came in, with Marco Rubio in the middle and said, are we still talking Epstein files? We have kids to worry about in Texas. That was fine, but he shouldn't say, or, you know, I think Trump messed up on that because these are kids involved. A lot of you don't care, but there's kids involved in that, and I think that's a dilemma. I think that didn't sit well with Bongino. It might have not sit. I gotta tell you, but Marco Rubio might be upset at that a little bit. But Trump is human. I don't think he meant anything about it. I think his intentions were good. We got a storm and kids who lost their lives and people that are still missing. And the focus was on that. And I can see his temper, Trump, because he does have that temper. And it got the best of him. And I said, if you're just coming in this live, he would have been better off saying, fake news, or what channel you work for. That would have been best. That would have been the best thing. And then, he could have worried about it at another press conference. But hey, what's done is done. Bonnie needs to go. What's up, Frank? She might go, but here's the problem. If Bongino says he's not coming back because of Pam Bondi's position, I don't know if Trump would fire her based on the public and what we're hearing. Because now that makes, I don't know. What's your thoughts? Doesn't that make Trump look, it might make Trump, our commander-in-chief, look worse. Hello. I got company here. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I don't know. I hope we don't lose Kash Patel. It would be, if we lose Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, we have a mess. I just tossed my paper. If we lose both, we have a mess. We have a mess. If both of them decide to walk out, then that's bad. One walks out, it's a mess. Two, catastrophic. Bad. And fire Pam Bondi, way out of control. Now we have problems. Justin, how are you? I think it would be bad if both would, Kash Patel would not come back. Whoa. First of all, Kash Patel, I haven't heard anything. I heard that he's upset. But Kash Patel is still, in charge. Bongino's the one who might not come back. We'll have to see. What a mess. We shouldn't be talking about this. I wanted to come on live today and talk about, Donald Trump going to Texas. FEMA's working nice, which it is. Trying to hope that we can find more of these. There's still a lot of people missing in Texas. And we got so much more to gain from Trump, to worry about than the Epstein files. This is a total distraction right now. And Elon Musk, he's smiling right now. Elon Musk right now, he has a big smile on his face like this because he wants that third party. Elon wants that. He wants to make a third party, and it could be with Tucker Carlson. It could very well be. It could be with somebody else. His wish might come true. It's crazy on how it can fall apart just like that, right? It's crazy. Why aren't the Democrats screaming for the list? Yeah, we talked about that last night. That's a fantastic question from our moderator, Janine. Because, Janine, they know there's a lot of powerful people that are on the left and on the right. They know that. You guys, we all have to be living under a rock. There's powerful people. And they're hiding it from the American people, just like John F. Kennedy. They hide and hide and hide. And now Trump's like, I just don't know what he can do right now at this point. I just don't know what Donald Trump can possibly do. He is smart. He is playing a game of chess. But if this is true with Bongino and Cash Patel, we're in some trouble. Hello, Maribel. So if you're just coming in, like my wife and everybody else, the breaking news of today, never a dull moment in politics, just when Trump and, our party was cleaning house, and still is, guys, and still in very good shape. Dan Bongino, one of my favorites, not because he's Italian like me. I like the guy, been following the guy. He says, hey, I'm not coming into work today. For him not to come into work shows me he's not coming back. We are covering that. Also, the pot farms, weed farms, ice, threatened ice control, out of control. Gavin Newsom's out of control. They're backing up. They hate Trump so bad that they'd rather have the town ripped apart, farms ripped apart, have the illegals come over here, open sesame, everything free, 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 come through. That's what's going on in the world right now. We got a Democrat Party that's just so untouched with Americans. That's why they lost the election. We have Elon Musk starting a third party with who knows who. And here we have a commander-in-chief who, for all of us, has lost connection with his cabinet members. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here, ladies and gentlemen? What will happen next? Where do we go from here? How does Trump get the cabinet members? He's got to have a meeting, right? What's he do next? What does Trump do next? Trump is a legend, damn right. What's he do next? What does Donald Trump do next? Does he pause things right now with Middle East? Does he just take a deep breath? Should he just take a deep breath, maybe 1 or 2 days, and get the cabinet together? Trump's the GOAT. A lot of interesting comments in here. I'm reading both sides. I'm assuming I'm reading some Democrat comments, some Republican comments. I can see the MAGA comments on here. Yeah. It's Mandela time, fool. Sounds good, actually. That actually sounds real good. I think I'll have one. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, we appreciate you subscribing and liking. Appreciate everybody in here. They should release the list. See, it means it's really important to a lot of people on here. It's amazing how important the Epstein list is. Is it important to you? I can, yes or no? Is it important to you? Yes or no? Ozzy coming in with the bomb. Keep up the awesome work. Forget about it. $100 donation and sponsoring today's live. Thank you so much, Ozzy. Appreciate you. Yesterday was Paul, and among other people, John. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Ozzy. Appreciate it. High five, fist bump. I really appreciate that, Ozzy. Now, Maribel's on her way home. That will certainly help us out. or another big homeless event. I hope I didn't screw stuff up today in the meeting. I don't know. I don't know where I'm at on that. I'm going to continue to help out the homeless people. I know that. I'm going to continue to fight because my voice is the people here in Las Vegas' voice. And I'm going to continue to help out as much as I possibly can to feed them and get them in the right proper. But, you know, I get a little high-headed sometimes. And I did today. I probably shouldn't have said what I said, but I had to say it. Let's see here. Trump won. I hope everybody's had a good week, a safe work week. Carter, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Now, if you're new, let us know you're new. Come on in. We'll retalk every day on Trump and where this nation's heading on both sides. But on this particular day, it's a little lopsided. It's a little all over the place. And all I want is, thank you so much, Lemon J. All I want, ladies and gentlemen, is for us to do better. I want the Democrats, Republicans that are on here, independents, black and white and gay, to do better. We need to work together, continue our success. Trump has made it common sense. Trump has made it safer. I mean, you got to say it. And nothing's perfect. And maybe I'm just being a little hard on Trump. The reason I'm hard on Trump, ladies and gentlemen, let's go in front of the White House. What a beautiful White House. God bless America, huh? The reason I'm hard on him is I want him to be, because I still think what he's doing is something we've never seen in his lifetime. He's going to go down as one of the best presidents ever. But he's got to get over some of these hurdles. Nothing's easy. And he just got to, and he will. He will. Trump will, he'll make sure that it doesn't fall apart. He'll make sure before it goes, more people, he'll catch the problem that's who's not happy in the cabinet right now. Because there's other things going on too. Nothing's easy. Every administration. Look with the Bush. I voted for Bush. What a mess that was. Bush wasn't even running this nation. I was Dick Cheney. So we can go on and on, right? Look at the last administration. It wasn't even run by a president. It was run by a committee, by donors. Let's be honest. And they plead the fifth. The doctor pleads the fifth on Biden's health. I mean, what the hell happened to our world? What the hell happened? So, we have a little bit of I wouldn't call this a setback. I'm just fired. I'm a little, I like Dan Bongino. I'm upset. I want Trump to make all Americans look better going forward, and he has. But with this thing with the Epstein is a little bit of a fumble. In my opinion. Someone on here will say, no, Sound, you're making it worse than it is. Maybe I am. Maybe I am making it worse than it is, but I don't know. I don't know. But that's a great question from Janine about 10 minutes ago. Why isn't CNN and the Democrats talking about it more? Why isn't Fox covering the doctor and talking about why aren't they talking about the files more? I just don't get it. I really don't. I do smell a rat, though. I will say this on my ending here. I smell a rat there. Whether it's Pam Bondi misleading the files with Trump, maybe it's Bongino. Maybe I got it all wrong. Maybe Bongino's I don't know. Maybe it's Kash Patel. Maybe all three of them. Maybe all three got to go. I'm just giving you my perspective. Bongino, here we go. Bongino doesn't want to lie anymore. Mark. Wow, that's a good comment. Interesting. Well, we don't know. I mean, we do know that Bongino had a podcast. He was very well spoken. We know Trump trusted him as the director. We know Trump had a pretty good relationship with him. He's smart. And he had a podcast, and he talked about, not all the time, but he talked about the Epstein files quite often. Quite often. We can go to his channel and you can hear him. And he didn't mention names on there. I'd never heard him one time mentioning Donald Trump or Biden or anybody like that. But he mentioned, he was pretty confident, I'm referring to Bongino, of some politicians on the Epstein list and going to the Epstein Island. So maybe now he's just tired, he can't handle it. Meaning he can handle the position, but he can't handle the lies. Like, I think it was Mark. He doesn't like it. I don't know if it's lies. I just think it's a little bit, I think they got them. So here's what happened, guys. I think that Trump got in a situation where they didn't want to get into. That's what happened. And I think they thought it would just blow over, and it's not blowing over. That's it. That's it right there. Trump thought it'd just blow over, I'll keep everything safe. And it's just not blowing over. It's actually getting worse. It seems like it's getting worse. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Who knows? Things can change. Bongino can walk in on Monday and everything's fine. And see here. Bondi is doing what Trump tells her to do. That's all. AC, welcome in. Yeah, I mean, I see some of that too. I see that too, but then I agree to your comment. I really do. But then I also say, well, maybe she fumbled it. Maybe she sees something that she shouldn't have seen. I'm throwing a lot at you guys. Maybe she sees something that she shouldn't have seen, and then Trump said, okay, let's talk about it. I mean, we just don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know. But we do know that Dan Bongino did not come to work today. That we know. He did not come to work today. We do know that Elon Musk wants a third party. Elon Musk loves this, right? You know what Elon likes? He likes that cabinets are walking, possibly Dan Bongino's walking. You know what he likes even more? That the Democrats are lost. He loves what's going on right now in California. He loves what's going on with ICE. That there's no leader in a Democrat. He loves that. He knows the Democrats are finished. And now he sees a few bumps in the Republicans. Bumps, right? He likes this. He might get his wish and start a third party. The question is, do you think Elon Musk can win? I don't mean him running for president, but his money to get a leader like Tucker Carlson, Sal Capano. I'm just saying. No, I mean, he might. This could be Ross Perot on steroids. We might just live to see a third party. Something right in the middle, right? You know what I mean? The Democrats are finished. The moderates are done. They came over to Trump. Now they see what's going on. And then you have your MAGA. Everybody's MAGA. I stand behind Trump. But deep down inside, they start seeing America getting separated a little bit and things not going as well. And now they say, hey, we try this third party. I'm not saying you guys. I'm not saying me. But some. All of a sudden, you have an independent president. Crazy, huh? All right. Everything froze up here. Elon can run. It's no different. Debbie. TT smells the Clintons are done. Bushes are done, guys. Clintons and Bushes, forget about it. Okay? Both are done. Clintons and Bush, done. All right? They don't want to hear the name. I don't care if it's a great-grand. They're done. Signkeeper, how are you? And thank you for all your donations. Appreciate it. There's no Bush, no Clintons. I just hope that the party can keep it together and we don't lose anybody. Hillary. Have you seen her lately? She looks like, I hate this, she looks she don't look good. Anyhow, what's up, Curtis? Where's the list? Nacho Pancake, what's happening? It could be time. Could be time. Appreciate that, Nacho. Could be time. David says, who the hell cares? Trump's on the list, I guess. Laughing out loud, Curtis says. That's the evil. I will try to catch up with some comments here. That's what evil will do for you, Hillary. Oh, she don't look. She don't look. I don't wish harm on her. I think she belongs in jail. Well, I'm getting off topic, but she don't look good. Now, all those Clintons, Bush, they're finished. The only one that has a shot right now, early preliminary, my wild card right now is Pete Buttigieg. Because he's the only one, he looks like he's departing a little bit from the party. Not MAGA, not even close. Not even close, but he at least says the words, keeping borders safe. You know, he's smart. You know, certain things that he says lately, he could be the wild card, Pete Buttigieg. You heard it here first. Watch him. Watch him. Trust me. J.D. Vance is going to try to run for... J.D. Vance, yeah, I mean, you know, speaking of J.D. Vance right now, maybe it's time for the vice president to step up and have a cup of coffee with Trump. With all due respect, Mr. Trump, you want to get some rest? Let me settle this out with Bongino and Pam Bondi. Let me settle this Epstein list out. Maybe it's time for J.D. Vance. Chicken Nugget, how are you? Good to see you. Did you drive today? J.D. will end up like Pence. I don't think so. I disagree, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. The question was J.D. Vance will be like Pence. No, I don't think so. Even if he didn't invent something, no, not at all. I would doubt that very much. And that's my opinion. Anything's possible. I didn't think Dan Bongino would not come to work today. So, let's see here. I voted for Ross Perot. Oh, did you, the sign keeper? Did not work. Yeah, but you know, we are now in 2025, and that Ross Perot, who is now Elon Musk. And by the way, I know a lot of people are saying there's a 0% chance Elon can run for president. Not so fast. Trust me on that. Okay? But Elon would certainly pick the perfect candidate. And, you know, I keep saying Tucker Carlson. Who knows? Could be Stephen A. Smith. Ardell, what's happening, Ardell? Hey, Ardell. It was in the mail. It's in the mail. My wife took care of it. So you should get that in 3-4 days. Hopefully middle of next week. Thank you. It could be Stephen A. Smith. I don't know. Who knows? Still early. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm worried about the cabinet sticking together. That's what I'm worried about. Stephen A. Smith, he is a good talker, John. And a lot of people say, well, who is he? He has no experience. He's smart. And he knows how to play the game. Politics is a game. Never let it fool you. And he can play a game. Be careful with Stephen A. Smith. Not in 28. But down the road. Trump is the go. What's up, Will? I hope so, Chicken Nugget. Good comment. I see that, Stephen Smith. I see that. Yeah. You ain't smart, mate. Welcome in anyhow. I appreciate you guys being here today. And hopefully everybody had a great week. The days fly by, man. Pam Bondi ate the list. That's funny, Frank. She ate it. I'll get rid of it. It's gone. Ain't gonna see that no more. Possible. Is it time yet? Maybe man, the years go by so damn quick, man. It's like last week I was camping. It was 4th of July last week. It's like that. The week goes by. There's so much going on, you know. And when you're off, Ozzy, the days you can just go quick. It's like, whoa, I'm back to work already. It's crazy. It just keeps going. That's why you got to enjoy those moments when you can with your family, with yourself, your family, your kids, your grandkids, and so on and so forth. A lot of this stuff is out of our control, guys. It really is. We just got to hope the best and hope that Trump continues, doing what he's been doing for all of us, whether you support him or not. And I think he will. I think he will. Even though we had a couple fumbles here and there, I think he will. Janine, I've seen that. Thank you so much, Janine, for taking care of that. Appreciate you. Appreciate you and Lemon J and Mike M on here today. And Richard, if I missed anybody, I apologize. Taco. What's up, Patty? Send me one beef taco with jalapeno. Yeah, that's a great comment, Ozzy. Yeah, that's what Maribel said today. Not in exact words. Sal Capone replaced President Trump. I'm thinking about it. I am actually thinking about it. Yeah. Trump has no temper. I have a temper. Trolls are in here full force. God bless the trolls. And God bless you, Debbie, and your family, Debbie. Yeah. What are you going to do? We appreciate the trolls too, right? You got different kind of trolls. LA is now yelling illegals to stay home, and they will give them debit cards. Read that comment. Is that the world we want? Free. Pandemic time. Oh, we haven't had a pandemic in a couple years. Let's shut the nation down for 2 years. We know we can't go back to that. We cannot go back to the Democrat way unless they change and go moderate or, work on issues. Can't go that way. The only way is Trump's way, but don't lose touch of your cabinet. All trolls, hit the like. Thank you, Sue. We appreciate the trolls. You have different kind of trolls. Different kinds. AKA little people. You have trolls that are unhappy with themselves. You have trolls that don't like Trump. And then you have these trolls that are just out there. I don't know where they come from, but they just come in. All right. Sal, a question. What's up, Chicken Nugget? I'm all ears. Message came in very quick. Hold on, Chicken Nugget. Sorry. Also, answer your question. No, I did not tell you, but I drive yesterday afternoon and in the morning. I only drove my four-wheeler. Have fun driving. It's a privilege. John says I'm a troll. Well, welcome in, John. What the hell happened here? What happened here? Oh, here we are. Stephen A. Smith is on Newsmax. Epstein. Yeah, see, everything's Epstein files. Everything's Epstein files. How are you, Lori? Good to see you, Lori. I hear you, John. So what we have, guys, is a situation that I believe that Trump will handle this. I really do. Again, I like to use that chess match, and I believe he's a couple chess pieces ahead. You know, he fumbled a little bit, but I have all faith in Trump. We'll grab the party together. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Hold on 1 second. All right, all right. So I was getting a message from. It doesn't matter. Thank you, Lemon J. I was getting a message from somebody who watches our broadcast, our live, and who yelled anyhow, and he was just saying everything was okay. So. Hold on 1 second, guys. I gotta hold on 1 second. Yeah. What happened? All right, so we have ICE raids on pot farms. ICE raids on pot farms. Next live talk. What the hell happened to our world? And I was watching last night on Fox, and they were like rolling down the windows. They were doing these live videos, and I don't know what the hell they were saying. Illegal pot farms. And now these people were leaving, and they had nice cars. There was like Mercedes-Benz and Ford 250s and 350s. Is there a Ford 350 out there? I'm like, whoa, I told Maribel, my wife, it's, man, they got nice cars. Maybe I should go be working on a pot farm. What do you think, Ozzy? I mean, anyhow, it's crazy. It's nuts on how they're handling the situation. But see, the problem is not the people. The problem is the leadership in California. That's where it's happening at mostly right now. It might happen in other, because it's a Democrat-run Gavin Newsom who's really bad. You know, it's one thing being a Democrat, but he is not handling the situation. I heard he wasn't even in California. He encourages this, you know. You don't encourage this kind of stuff. And why is he doing that? He don't like Trump. Debbie, you're exactly right. He is not God. And he's going to, a couple mistakes, a couple fumbles. You know, I wouldn't even call it like a mistake, Debbie. He just, again, if you're a Trump supporter like I am, I think when you go too quick, you're going to have the best of the best are going to make a fumble. And that's all he did. And he'll get it together. I will miss Bongino, though, if he doesn't come back. I think he's great. But yeah, going back to Gavin Newsom, he needs to get his shit together. He really does. He needs talking about getting in charge. He needs to take total charge. Volunteered on the border about 5 years. First of all, before I go any farther, thank you and for doing that, Lemon J. That's amazing. For 5 years, 5 years ago, we found a lot of the black hair dye and kidnap like hair. So sad. So sad what happens. Thanks for sharing that, Lemon J. What happens, you know, another thing that was happening when they were coming over was, you know, you didn't hear CNN cover this, where people were losing their lives and kids. It was just a total mess. And, you know, again, if people are coming on here and they say, oh, Trump just doesn't like Latinos. Trump, no, this was nothing to do with that. Trump wants people to come all here from Africa, Italy, Venezuela, you know, come over through the right way, the proper way. And it just was out of control. And I think behind closed doors, if you ask most Democrats, they would agree everything I just said, to come here the proper way. And for AOC and Cory Booker and Gavin Newsom and Pocahontas and the rest of them, simply to back this up, what they're doing, these people, it's just nuts. I don't even have the words to describe it. They don't have to come on TV and say, we support Trump. We like everything Trump's doing. No, they don't have to do that at all. All they need to do is say, hey, we will not support this. You're not going to leave your farms and threaten ICE. No, just don't do it. And it's out of control. Totally out of control. When did they become over the law, over ICE and border control and law enforcement? When was it right for them to be above the law, the president? No. But that's the misconception. Trump wants people to come here and have money being exchanged, if we want to discuss that for a minute. That's what that is. But people have this thing that, you know, Trump just a prejudiced person, a prejudiced president. Is not the case at all. All right. Let's see here. It has to be Pam Bondi hiding it all, because I definitely don't think Dan or Cash would. Yeah, I mean, but yes to that question. I certainly think, but I also think that Pam Bondi got in a situation where, let's face it, let's not fool ourselves. The commander-in-chief is Donald Trump. I'm sure he said, hey, A, B, C, be careful with B, right? Stay with me. Here's A, B, C. Let's get these files. Let's get the John F. Kennedy files. It's very important, right? Let's go ahead and Martin Luther King, let's get the files on that. And by the way, let's be careful with the Epstein files. Find out what you could know that I might not know. And I think there might have been some miss somewhere there. But yes, I don't think it had much to do with Dan Bongino. I would be shocked if Dan Bongino messed up somewhere on that. He might have made a mistake on other things. I don't know. We're not perfect. Or Cash Patel, yes. I would assume it was something. It's communication somewhere. Communication between Donald Trump, our president, and Pam Bondi. I really had bad feelings about her from the get-go. I don't know if you guys can remember. I never kind of trusted her. So. But I don't think it's all her fault either. It's a mess, guys. It's a total mess. It really is. And unfortunately, it could come back and hurt. That sounds good. Ozzy, I'm going to have a buzzball tonight, is what I'm going to have. Or maybe I'll have a Modelo. I don't know. Trump is not on any video. The video that they're circling around the internet right now that I'm not going to put on, of the Epstein jail. First of all, there was two doors. Did everybody see the jail? When you walk in, they were saying the Epstein door. That was not the jail. It was so. There's a lot of and now they're saying it's modified. We just don't know. Nobody on here knows whether he committed suicide, whether the mob took him out, whether Cubans took him out. I'm referring to Epstein, or whatever. And now they're saying there's different. They took out the photos. They're adding in people with AI. We don't know. We don't know. But that's what's going to... See, that's the problem with all this. It's going to get worse and worse until something's done by the commander and something's done by Donald Trump. I don't know what that could be done, what he can possibly do to quiet this. I just don't know. And as Janine said about a half hour ago, it's interesting how CNN is not really making a big deal out of it. It's crazy how more mega is talking about. You know why? Because we want the best for us. I do. Our channel. Some channels just want the best for Trump, which is good. But it is interesting, though. You would think Anderson Cooper would spend an hour on this, right? Paul, how are you, Paul? Oh, so well said. I'm happy Epstein's dead, but we need to protect our children. Yeah, that's what Maribel said, Paul. A lot of people are saying that. There's a lot of people who were saying, I really don't care about the Epstein files. We need to continue focusing forward in what Trump is doing. And that's correct. But there's children, and that's our dilemma. There's kids involved. And it's not Trump's fault. And it's not even Biden. I mean, let's be honest, guys. But there's kids, and you know, that were involved. I don't want to think about it. It's hard to even talk about what was going on with that and Diddy. It's just, how did the world get like this? You know. 15,000 children dead over past 2 years almost. It's I don't know how we would become, how it became where people with power, money, and fame can simply just lose their minds. But that's what happens when some, not everybody, when they get the power, they get the money, they feel like they can do anything they want, and even if it comes to involving children. And that's what breaks my heart. That's what breaks my heart. So that's the whole problem with the Epstein file. That's why there's a group of people who want that released. But then there's another group of people who just hate themselves and hate Trump. So they're just going to mention Epstein. I don't mean on here, but just, well, on here too, just Epstein. Now, then you have the other group so you have 3 different groups with the Epstein files. Ocean Waves. Ocean Waves. That's the name of our parrot. Ocean. Appreciate you being here. Dick says, Epstein, good friend. And then, you know, I said this before in yesterday's live. By the way, guys, thank you so much for all the likes on these live streams. I appreciate helping our channel. Like, subscribe, and sharing some of these videos. We have plenty of shorts that we put up regarding helping out the homeless. Make sure you check out the shorts. In any event, we do deserve answers. Parents, family members, they want justice, and they want to know. People want to know who was socializing with Epstein, who was there. And then even if they were socializing with Epstein, it doesn't mean they were involved. But people want to know. See, it's just a big circle, because people could have encountered, had a beer with him, shaked his hand, had a photo taken with him, like Trump. You know, I could have even ran into him. It doesn't mean you were involved. See, that's another a problem there. But I can guarantee there is a list of people that were at the island, and there was codes and names brought in. There was files, or you can say there was a piece of paper. There was something. There's no doubt in my mind, ladies and gentlemen, there was something. We all agree on that, yes or no? There was a list, yes or no? They said it. Everyone has said it. President has said there's a list. And now all of a sudden there's no list. Well, that doubts. I know a lot of MAGA hate me right now, but that doubts Trump's credibility a little bit. It doesn't take away everything he's done to bring back everything I just said. Common sense, freedom of speech, protecting our borders in reverse order, making peace, taking out lots of good. But it does question him. And that is our situation we are at on this Friday. And the worse it continues, more conflicts it happens in the cabinets. Like Dan Bongino, who didn't come to work. Let me make it clear, he could come back. Yeah. Oh, I appreciate that comment. Yeah. Yeah, I just want people to understand. I am a MAGA. I do believe, thank you for saying that, I do believe Trump has done more for us than any president in our lifetime. That's my opinion. Other than Bill Clinton and Reagan, right? But, and like, I think it was Debbie Farron, people make mistakes, presidents make mistakes. So, but it's definitely something to be talked about. Most MAGA on here, it looks like, are going to stand behind Donald Trump. Most MAGA will stand behind him 100%, regardless. But there is a portion and I'm not the portion, but there is a portion who's going to step back and take a deep breath and analyze this and take a very close look on what happens next. Meaning, not so much next on the Epstein files, but what is the next fumble, so to speak, that Trump makes. And that could potentially hurt the House in 1 year, or potentially hurt future Republican candidates and taking this nation. Because we need, in my opinion, a strong leadership from a Marco Rubio or J.D. Vance or another. And if it continues to fumble, or Trump continues to fumble on another issue, then that favors a third party or heads back to the Democrat Party. So we'll have to wait and see on how this all unfolds. Let me make all means before we end this live. As of now, I'll look at my TV. Dan Bongino has not announced that he quit, but he did not come to work, and he's just, for those who are coming in real late, and he's a little pissed off on stuff that's happening between him, his boss, Pam Bondi, and Kash Patel. And he's a little aggravated with the president. And he didn't come out and tweet anything. And that's where we are on this Friday. Meanwhile, Trump spent some time in Texas and making sure FEMA and these people start building. And he was out there talking to some of the families. Our prayers and thoughts, imagine this terrible storm. And there's still people out there, kids and adults and church leaders who are not found. And hopefully they can, family can get some justice and grieve. A terrible, terrible storm that happened. Had nothing to do with Donald Trump and nothing at all to do with the weather channels or cutbacks. And I said this, if you're new to my channel, stay with me. Even if there was cutbacks, but there wasn't. Let's just say there was in the bill. It wasn't. But let's just say he did say, I'm going to cut back on the weather. That takes a year. Just like Medicaid cuts or anything else. And the Medicaid cuts, I'm getting off topic, are for those who don't want to work. So there was nothing, had nothing to do with anything like that. If anything, you got to call out the state or the mayor or the city and the campsite on what I'm hearing. No cell phones. A subscriber on here sent me they had some flooding a couple days before, a week before. No sirens. They need to learn going forward. I still think there's something fishy on that too, though. Regarding the mayor, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see on that. But our prayers and thoughts as these terrible storms continue across the nation. And terrible, terrible. But he was there. And he got FEMA going very quickly. So that's good news. Actually, it's very good news. Get these people. I'm hearing that, already they're getting it organized. Because, when Biden was president or the Auto Pen was president or whoever the hell was the president, North Carolina is still waiting. It's a shame Trump had to come in and make sure. So just a total mess, guys. We're heading the right way. We still are. Just a couple ifs, ands, and buts right now. Somebody says Biden was the president. Actually, you're right. He was the president. But was he really signing? Was he really doing the work as a president should do? Well, the way it looks, he wasn't. The way it looks. Just like Maui. Yeah, Maui. What a shame to have it at Maui. That was a total disaster. Those poor people never, some never got anything. Not even a dime, a dollar, or any kind of help there in Maui. Prayers are with Maui still, with those fires. So, Wilson World, welcome in, says lies, lies, and more lies. So, that's your opinion. People are unhappy with Trump. So, yeah. Yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm reading, trying to read my text message and some of your comments. Detroit FEMA cuts where transfer money to states, expedite process. States know what they need, no feds. Absolutely. Interesting. Good comments. Good comments. Great comments, guys. Guys are good. Some real great comments. Once again, thank you for Ozzy for sponsoring today's live. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. And for Joe Charles participating in that as well. We thank you so very much to continue these lives and helping out the homeless when we can. Elon was telling the truth. The truth on what? The truth that we're adding to the deficit, or the real truth that his stocks, something more personal with his stocks and not money in there for Elon Musk. Come on, think about it. JFF88, how are you? Is Trump administration falling apart? Well, you know, when you have Elon, speaking of Elon, leave, even though, you know, he was doing some good things, let's face it. And then you have Bongino not coming in, I would call that falling apart. I mean, and if it was just because of a different issue, maybe he had a fallout or something, and they might say that. They might cover this up and just say it was a fallout, you know, whatever, Pam Bondi didn't, whatever. But if it's the truth, it's regarding the Epstein files, and he quits and Kash Patel quits, then I would call that falling apart. Or one of the two. So yes. This whole thing smells fishy. Warlander TV. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It really does smell fishy on both sides, by the way. I think this is the first time in my life that it smells fishy on both sides. I have not confirmed that, Ozzy. Somebody was, a couple subscribers or two were saying that Kash. All I heard that so far, Dan Bongino, the director of the I'm reading something here from hold on, something's coming in here from one of my representatives. Hold on. All right, so all I'm hearing now, Kash Patel is unhappy on how the Epstein files are being handled by Pam Bondi. That's from Kash Patel. Interesting. Okay, and then of course Dan Bongino, the U.S. Deputy Director, did not come into work today. And what we're hearing is he's just unhappy on how the Epstein files are coming out, and the JFK files as well, and the MLK files, or how it's a little unorganized. So he decided not to come into work today. So knowing Bongino the way I know about him, for him not to come in is showing that he's probably going to take a long weekend, and he might digest this and make a few phone calls to Trump, this, that, whatever. But I'd be surprised he comes back. I'd be surprised. Yeah. That's my opinion. I mean, and I think I will say this too. And if for some crazy reason Kash Patel says, hey, just put Dan Bongino in charge and fire Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. If Trump decides to do that, in the chat, I want to hear from you guys. Forget me. If Donald Trump, Kash Patel says, Trump, forget about me, meaning Kash Patel, put Dan Bongino in charge, and we'll find somebody else to be the director. Would that be a good thing? Yes or no? And get rid of Pam Bondi, fire her, right? And put Dan Bongino in her position, Kash Patel, and then, or does that just make things more difficult and complicated? I don't know. I'm asking you guys. Yes, Anthony, Tony Francis, love that name, Anthony, Tony Francis. Forget about it. Does that make things worse? Dan would take no prisoners. Richard, what's happening, Richard? Appreciate you being here. Yeah, the question would be if Dan Bongino or Kash Patel and Trump sit together, thank you, Mike, and have a cup of coffee together or a Big Mac or whatever, and say, hey, how about we just put Dan Bongino, put him in charge, and get rid of Pam Bondi? How would that make the party look? See, for me, only me, I would be another fumble. I could be wrong. I would say that's another fumble, because now that shows that you're unsure. It shows that that Trump is unsure. Trump is never unsure, right? So I just don't know. No way Bondi for president. She is the only woman who is qualified. What? I didn't understand that. I voted for Trump. I fired myself. Fumble or an audible? An audible. Like Jalen Hurts on the Eagles. You know, no push, audible. Naked bootleg. Maybe an audible. A smart man. Yeah, maybe an audible. I like that, Ozzy. You always come with some good ones. That's a good one. I'll read some more. Why am I getting these calls from everybody? So somebody just texted me I'm being hard on Trump. That's what somebody just said. I'm not going to mention any names. Not on here, but I appreciate everybody being on here. Interesting topic. A lot going on. A lot of it we can't handle, but a lot of people want answers. I think a third, fourth. Kurt. I'm reading Kurt's comment. I like that comment, Kurt. Thank you for your comment, Kurt. Interesting comment. Great comments, guys. Really. Great comments. Trump's orange tan spray getting terrified. I love that comment. Yeah. I believe in the tan. Yeah. We'll have to see, guys. You know, it's not official yet. It is not official. Dan Bongino could just say, hey, had too many drinks last night. Not coming in. I don't know if that would fly too well with Donald Trump, though, right? You know? Or maybe he'll just come up with some other excuse. Maybe he will not insult Pam Bondi. Maybe he'll just tell Trump, you know what? I'm making $4.9 million. Was he really making that kind of money, guys? He was making $4.9 million on his podcast. God, man, it's good. How many is too many? I mean, maybe we're just over-exaggerating. Maybe I am. I'll speak for him. Maybe he just misses that podcast and that money. You know, hey, I'm not making that kind of money. I don't mind helping out, but, you know, I can't help Pam Bondi out. I need to make some fazools. Get me back to my podcast. Sorry, Trump. I support you, but I'm done. Could be that. Could be. Could be. Trump's not going to be around in 12 years. He's 79. What's that make him? 91? 92? His wife has his podcast. Oh, is that right, Jim? I didn't hear that. Can we get a president that won't make promises they can't keep? Trump is a businessman. He will do what's needed. He will. He plays the game of chess. I'll follow up on that as well. I still have faith in Trump, guys. I still behind him. Just saying where we're at right now. TT, thank you. Appreciate you. Stacy Smith, yes, Stacy. I was fired up today. I brought it, and I think I brought it into this a little bit. So, but yeah, had to dress up a little bit today. In 20 years, you'll be 100. Where did that come from? Oh, because we were talking about the years of Trump. Yeah, I don't know, but we are. Compared to last Mickey Mouse, yeah. I mean, if you look at, that's the things that I guess I'll start with. I'll remember compared to the last administration. I mean, come on, we're like a million times better. You know, as Debbie says earlier, nothing's ever going to be perfect. Nothing. But you got to gain control of your cabinet. You cannot let the administration fall apart, because even though Elon left, right, it was a loss. It was a loss because of the Doge and everything. And a lot of you just said, well, Doge was done. But the way it ended, it didn't end too good, right? And now you have possibility Dan Bongino now not coming into work and walking out. That's 2. And then all of a sudden you got to make a decision to replace his position and worry about Pam Bondi. What do you do with her? Do you let her go? That would be 3. And then if you have a problem with another cabinet member, God forbid, that doesn't look good this early in administration. If we were only 6 months out of it, not so bad, but not so soon. But these things happen to a lot of administrations. But anyhow, that's just my thoughts. I still trust Donald Trump. Jerry, how are you? Good to see you. Juby, how are you? I appreciate 164 likes. Thank you so very much for being here. We've been on an hour and 41 minutes. We'll stay on for a few more minutes. And then I got to respond to some text messages here. My phone was blowing up. Is Dan out now? Tom, what's up, Tom? First of all, Tom, hope you're doing well. The question is Dan out right now? Dan Bongino did not come into work today. He decided to take a long weekend, and the rumors and sources that I'm hearing, and you're probably hearing on news outlets as we speak during this live, he's not happy with what's going on with Pam Bondi, and Kash Patel is also not happy. He's also not happy on how Trump handled the question, like we've been discussing now for 2-3 days, and that's where we stand. Did he quit? No, but it doesn't look good. When you don't go into work, unless you are sick, something's wrong. Is Dan Bongino 25% African American? Yes. Maybe, something like that. Tom says don't blame him. Drew, there's no question to answer. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And you spelled the name wrong, but it's okay. Will I be here in 12 years? Who the hell knows? It's not up to me. Disappointed on how President Trump handled the Epstein list. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in 1999. All right. Wendy, how are you? Wendy Rose, how are you? Good to see you. Appreciate it. If you're new, like and subscribe. Come on board. We appreciate it. We're live almost every day. Every now and then I do take a day off where we do help out the homeless when we can on here. Like and subscribe. Make sure you help out the other YouTube channels. If you enjoy their content, like and subscribe. You might be enjoying Dan Bongino. He might be back on. Witness at the White House said that Dan Bongino was out of control and furious after the meeting with Pam Bondi. There you have it right there. Lemon J, thank you so very much. Appreciate it. Not just on that comment, everything you do. So there you go. I'll read it again. Witness at, I quote, and this is a quote, witness at the White House said that Dan Bongino was out of control and furious after the meeting with Pam Bondi. So something went wrong there. So that's assume. I only assume because Dan Bongino talked a hell of a lot on his podcast about Sleepy Joe, on him working under the administration of Barack Obama, but he talked a lot about the Epstein list. A lot. So only you can imagine that maybe Bongino says, hey, Pam, let's talk to the boss on this. Maybe we should expose it. And maybe she said, no, I'm afraid. Or Trump, so maybe she wasn't stepping up. There you go. Something got heated. Heated confirmation, NBC News, July 11th. July 11th. Whatever. Something didn't go right. And then you have Kash Patel right in the middle of all this, right? Both Democrats, Republicans are responsible for this whole mess. DJ Big Turbo. You know what? High five, fist bump. On this particular issue, is that what you're referring to? Yes. I have to agree with that. Both Democrats, Republicans are responsible for this whole mess. That's a fair comment. And that's why CNN is not blowing this up. And no Italian opinions matter. CSD. But yeah, that's an interesting comment, though. It is true. You know, just another cover-up. And it's not a cover-up because I still believe that Trump has not had nothing to do with any of this. You know, even though he had some photos with him, this, that, whatever. Biden had nothing to do with this. You know, let's face it. Horrible president, administration. Bill Clinton has nothing to do with this. Yeah. Nancy Pelosi? Maybe. I don't like her. Dr. Fauci? 2 Italians? Maybe. But no, it's a big cover-up. And that comment from DJ is true. It's very much true. They just don't want the people to know. They don't want to open up. You know, it's a cover-up. You're a real comedian. Spooky Spoon. Spooky Spoon. What's up, Spooky Spoon? You look nice. All dressed. Uncle Charlie, always a pleasure to see you. Hey, Uncle Charlie, how you doing? I hope you're feeling good and doing well. Appreciate you. Sari Fernando, how are you? Brian, what's happening? So what? Trump was the president when Epstein died. What's that got to do with anything? I'm just saying. So. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Brian. Brian, yes. That's a good comment. Don't be scared, be prepared. All right. Yeah. It's much more bigger than a cover-up, guys. I don't think people really get it. This involves certain, I just gave you names I don't think is on there, but it could involve certain other politicians on both sides, possible mayors, senators, that participated in these horrific sex acts with minors. And could be athletes, could be entertainers, could be names that you like, people you enjoy watching on the Epstein. And if they got to be very careful for that to leak out, what that would do. Think about it. Think about it. So. In my opinion. Well, I could be making it more than it is. Such some disgusting, yeah. So we have 174 likes. I appreciate you guys being here tonight. Think I'm gonna. Oh, thank you, TT. Appreciate that. Some do. Dr. Fauci didn't know. Dr. Fauci didn't know how to dress. I don't like that guy. And by the way, guys, we talked this on the last live. No questions that the pandemic was much bigger than the Epstein. Because the pandemic involved children, your family, my family. People died because of a very bad pandemic that was formed in China. And I like to see in a thorough investigation, we probably won't, on Dr. Fauci, on what they really knew, what the hell was going on. By far, that should be on the top. And second, would have to be this Epstein files, and then I guess you put John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King tied for third. Some would say no, John F. Kennedy number 2, as far as information that we deserve, that we might not never know. Now, we know a lot about what happened with John F. Kennedy. The mob got him in, they got him elected as a Democrat, and the mob took him out. That's as simple as that, right? Some would say the Cubans did, but whatever, the mob took him out. And then as far as the pandemic, we'll leave it at that. What's your thoughts on that? And then you have the Martin Luther King. So then you have to put the Epstein number 2, I think, only because it involves so many children. It involves so many children. I would put that number 2, John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King. third, fourth, whatever. And in my bed. More Fazools for the homeless, Brian. Brian, thank you so much. You rock. High five, fist bump. Thank you for building it up. Thank you so very, very much. Yeah, we, my wife, God bless her. Don't forget the watermelon. Today we did, thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. You and Ozzy and Joe Charles also participated today on today's sponsorship. Bagels, fresh bagels, ham, turkey, cheese, and my wife said, get him some orange juice. Forget the coffee. It's too hot, my wife says. All right. You're giving them coffee too much. It's 110 degrees. So we give them orange juice and watermelon. And helped out a couple today, more than a couple. And then I went into a meeting and lost my temper because I think it's not the police fault, but I think the government and the mayor, in this case, they need to give the homeless people here in Las Vegas a little bit of notice when they're going to take their tents and destroy them. Because these homeless they work. Some of these homeless people are working and they come back and their tents are completely gone, and I lost my cool. I said, I want to see at least 1 or 2 day notice. Nope, not going to get it. What do you think this is? You think they have a mailbox or something? I said, what'd you say? So, yeah. Out of control, the homeless. Out of control. But we are certainly helping out when we can. And there's lots of other YouTuber channels that are doing great things. Church and just other organized people are helping out. If every person that's on here in your neck of the woods, has a voice, help out. It doesn't mean money or just helping out when you can, even if it's a cup of coffee or water. We got to help. That's got to be on the list next for Trump. We got to get, and he's working on that already in California, to get these homeless vets who fought for this country into a facility and have some rehab with some doctors and psychiatrists. We gotta help our fellow Americans. So thank you very much, Brian. Hey guys, I'm gonna wrap things up. Thank you so very much. Appreciate everybody being on here. Look, as of today, we just don't know where Dan Bongino's thoughts are. He could be coming back to work on Monday, changing his story, or saying, hey, I don't know what the hell you guys heard, but the truth was I just had a few drinks. I couldn't come in, or maybe he's just mad and he just not gonna show up. But I have a funny feeling that he might be finished and working back on his podcast. Hope that this party doesn't continue to fall apart too much and Kash Patel doesn't go anywhere. Hopefully J.D. Vance and Trump can organize and have I'm sure they already had a meeting, and keep this together. We need it. Thank you, Lemon J. We need the party to work on these issues. And that goes for Democrats too. They need to work their act together and prevent these massive protests and violence that's heading in these weed and pot farms. Governor Newsom and other governors need to step up the bat. And this should not be done. Both sides right now got to get their act together, in my opinion. Both sides. Both sides, Republicans and Democrats. Guess what? If we don't get it together, you will have that third party. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in here. I hope you guys were entertained somewhat. Just my thoughts on this whole thing. I'm still behind Donald Trump 100,000% and hope the best for our nation. Remember, guys, spend time with yourself before you go on social media, and your family before you get caught up into this too much. God bless everybody. Moderators, thank you so much. Appreciate everybody being here. Support your other YouTube channels with a like, subscribe, and help them out when you can. Thank you so much, guys. God bless. Thank you. I'll see you. Lemon J, thank you so much. Mike, Janine, all of you, moderators, excellent job. Take care.